A section of youth in Laikipia Town have vowed to stage demonstrations over the establishment of an Ebola quarantine facility in Laikipia County. The youth are expected to march through the streets of Laikipia Town and visit various government offices to demand the immediate cancellation of the ongoing plans to set up the facility at the Laikipia Air Base.
So, guys, this is the current situation in our country, Kenya. The demos against building an American Ebola quarantine are ongoing right now. Today, June 1st of 2026. This shows how the Kenyans are angry about the decision the government made. Let's go ahead and see more reactions about it. Then later, I will talk about what I think about this. So what do you think about this? If we resonate in our thinking, just comment and like the video. Also, subscribe if you have not subscribed.
In these quarantine spaces, because number one, they are a dangerous site for us, especially in our county where our health system is really struggling. This could be a big pandemic for us. The exposure, it's a really small community, which means anybody working there, the schools, there are schools inside there, and even teachers, the army themselves will come back to the people in the community. So number one, the exposure is really high. Number two, the capacity. Our community is really small, and we want to focus on things like sanitation, which is already an issue. Healthcare is already an issue. So let us come together in rejecting it.
Reject this issue of Ebola quarantine in our county. I think everything has been said. The dangers that it poses the danger of people fearing even to do businesses, people fearing for their lives, and the fear that comes along with this kind of disease if it is exposed to Kenya, to Laikipians. So I join the other leaders to reject in totality.
Jambo, hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Miss Outrage, and welcome to this channel. Thank you so much for those who click on this video. Also, thank you for those who have already subscribed. If you are not already subscribed, please do so, as I do great commentary videos and I air my opinion on certain trending stories. I may not be able to cover all of them, but the ones that I feel like I do so. So today we are heading to America, and I'm trying to see the relationship between America and my country, Kenya. So I am a young lady from Kenya, East Africa, and I'm totally interested in what happens in America, as this is one of the most powerful countries in the world, and the decisions they make or the things that they do really affect the whole world as it is. So recently, or about last week, there was this statement that Donald Trump issued, that the Ebola affected patients who are American citizens are supposed to be brought to Kenya, and there will be a quarantine facility for them that is being funded by the American government, and it will be built on Kenyan soils in some place we call Laikipia, and in the KDF, or Kenya Defense Forces camp. So this has brought an uproar from all over the country. And let me tell you, the Kenyans are not happy at all. The Kenyans are saying that they don't want people who are sick to be dumped into the country, and they don't want to be affected by these things. This is because one of the reasons is because these people are going to be taken care of by Kenyan medics, or they are going to be looked after by the Kenyan medics, not the Americans. So they are brought to Kenya to be taken care of by the Kenyan medics, by the Kenyan Defense Forces in a Kenyan soil, in the Kenyan camp. So, what are the Kenyans saying about this? Kenyans are very, very disappointed by our government, and everyone is against this decision as it is a threat to the Kenyan population as it is, because if any one of those who will be assigned into the camp get contaminated or get infected, remember this is a very dangerous disease, which is very contagious and which is very lethal. And if you get infected by this disease, this is worse than corona, because this disease do not have cure, do not have the disease do not have cure. It doesn't have vaccine. So those who survive, they survive by the grace of God, and they survive by the grace of their maker, because it is not easy to recover from this. And once you get infected, you bleed from every opening, from the mouth, from the eyes, from the nose, from the ears, and all the other parts you can imagine. You bleed to death. And this has claimed a lot of lives in DRC Congo and in Uganda. And this disease has been there for quite some time, and it is like a wave. Every year you will hear there is an outbreak. Every year there is an outbreak. And this is something that was according to the news that we usually get. This is something that has been created in a lab. And I don't want to mention the countries that I hear they generated this pathogen, but it is as a result of scientific experiment, let me say so. So, according to the Kenyans, remember, one thing people should know about Kenyans is that Kenyans are very patriotic. Kenyans love their country. I'm not speaking as if I'm not Kenyan. I am Kenyan, and I still love my country so much. But at this point, I'm commenting totally as somebody who wants to say what I think about this situation and what I view and about the Kenyans' reactions. So the Kenyans are very, very patriotic, and so they will fight for their rights. One is that they will fight for their rights. Second is that if you try to endanger them, they will fight back. If you push them to the corner, they will react. They will fight back, because sometimes when they feel like they have nothing to lose, they will fight for what is theirs. So they feel threatened. Their lives feel threatened. They feel their lives are taken for granted, especially because this is something that is being decided by people who are on the top in the government and without any public consultations. And remember, the most endangered people are the people who go out there every day to look for daily to cater, so that they can be able to cater for their daily needs. Remember, there are people who hustles. If they stay in the house, they won't eat. And remember, the people on top there, they are rich. Even if they are locked in their houses for months, years, they may still eat and drink and survive. But the normal mwananchi meaning the normal Kenyan citizen, will suffer if they don't go out and do, maybe, most of the Kenyans live hand to mouth. What they get in that day is what they will feed on, and sometimes there is no saving. It's not even enough for the day, so they will keep on going and waking up every day. So if it reaches a point where Kenya is locked down, like the way it was locked down in 2020, majority of the normal mwananchi or the normal Kenyan citizen will really, really suffer. People don't want to go back there. And remember, this is something not just like 2020, especially in the current regime or the current government that we have. This may be very difficult because, as we see, this is one of the governments that seems not to care at all about the normal Kenyan. At least then, people would be issued with free foods and supplies, and people are able to survive a little longer. So people are wondering, if this happens, will it be the same again now that the person that who is supposed to take care of the economy of the country of Kenya is seeming not to care? Remember, in the current situation in Kenya, the health sector is also very affected. Remember, there are so many things that are happening. There are even the gloves for the doctors in the hospital. The doctors themselves are asking patients to buy the gloves. You can imagine the situation, and yet we are risking bringing a very dangerous disease. So this means majority of Kenyans will be wiped out, and this scares a lot of Kenyans. Remember, also Kenyans are very educated, but majority are unemployed. So once they are informed about such a decision that has been made by two heads of different states, that is America and Kenya, this scares people. People are scared and people are reacting in different ways. Top leaders also are condemning this action or this decision made by our president. And remember, Kenyans are also very brave. They will maybe fight these things and we will overcome, we will overcome as Kenyans. But what I really pray is that this do not come to pass, as it was stopped by the court the other day. It was stopped, and I hope it will not be reviewed. And remember, we are being led by one leader who doesn't even obey the Okay, I don't want to be targeted, because in this case, when you speak your mind in Kenya nowadays, it's not very, very safe. But all in all, we have to speak. All in all, we have the right of expression, freedom of speech. So what I'm saying is, we are at risk. Even if the court stopped the whole thing, we are at risk. And we really pray that Kenyans stay vigilant in case we see anyone who has the signs. We should be able to maybe find ways on how we can protect ourselves, and also how we can protect the lives of our loved ones. And as it is, what I see, this facility will be built, whether Kenyans complain or not. From how I've been seeing things happening in Kenya, even when we stand and picket and demonstrate, and things do not really go the better for our ways, we will continue fighting regardless. But I can foresee that this facility will be built. I just hope that it is not going to be a danger to our health status, and most especially for the people who are in the county that the quarantine is going to be created. The main thing that made this facility to be brought in Kenya is that they are saying that it was to prevent the American citizens from being flown over long distances. It takes hours to fly these people from DRC Congo to America. So they saw that Kenya can be a safer place because it is near DRC, and also they believe Kenyans are also well equipped, which is not true. The Kenyan hospitals are not very well equipped, and as we speak, the Kenyan health sector is not going in the right direction. But we hope for the best in the future. We hope that this will be taken care of in the future as we continue waiting until we can change the regime, because change must be there. And if we will retain the current regime, it has also to change and care for the country, for our needs, for our desires. And also we need to be taken care of as the Kenyan citizen, as we pay taxes, as we are patriotic to our country. We want our country to run well, peacefully. And also we need it not to be in situations that we cannot control. We don't want to lose lives. Kenyans are also very many, as you can see, of recent things that have been happening. You saw that Aisha Speed came and the streets of Nairobi were full of people, more than 1 million people in the street. The other day there was Arsenal winning the Champions League, and you would see just Arsenal fans filling the streets. You can tell that Kenyans are big in number, especially the youth. And remember, the youths are the ones who are fighting so that they can have a better future, so that we can have a better government in the future. So the Kenyans are many in number, but we don't want to lose any lives just because we are many. I hope this is not a strategy to wipe the Kenyan population or to reduce the Kenyan population, because no one has a right to take a life. So this is it about the Kenyans' reaction, and I want to say the problem in our country is about the corrupt leaders' love for money. You know, no one hates money. I would also sometimes I also ask myself, if I were put in such a position, what would I do? You are always exposed to opportunities where I have to earn a lot of money and do things. What would I do? I don't know. I just pray that I can be very strong to resist the temptations, but it is always not easy. People tend to be selfish when it comes to money and power. So also the other problem that we have in Kenya is tribalism. Tribalism, where we are divided according to our tribes. Remember, we have a lot of tribes in Kenya, 42 in numbers, and some are also being added. So recently we recognized Shona as an additional tribe in Kenya. Shona is also an extension of a tribe of us from South Africa that has been here for some time, and now they are recognized as Kenyans. So the Kenyans are many, and according to their tribes, we are so many. So if only we join and make Kenya a one tribe country and speak Swahili. Yes, we have our own mother tongues, but we speak Swahili together, we stay. We can be able to stand firm, and our prize will be heard, or our requests will be adhered to by the government. And this tribalism is mostly castigated by our own leaders who comes from the same tribes as we do, because they will come and tell us, this tribe hates us, we should do this because if you do this they suffer, or if you do this they benefit. So if we only come together as Kenyans and as one tribe and be able to stand firm on how we want our country to be, I believe we can be in a better position. Also, the political divisions because of political affiliation. Even if I am a Kikuyu, I have that one leader that I'm affiliated to, because maybe I'm benefiting from one from one thing or the other. Maybe I was given a job through this affiliation, or maybe my family is connected or relative to one of the leaders. So this causes the division in Kenya, and people are not able to rationally think. People are not able to unite and do things as one. So currently we have been having waves of Gen Zs and saying that they're tribalists, and this, if is successful, we can be very far in our country. So let us see more reactions about the Kenyan American quarantine on Ebola situation.
And everyone, if you do not know your right, if you do not know who you are, they're counting on it that you do not know your right. They're counting on it that you do not know how to practice the authority that you have
as American citizens from DRC, those who are affected by Ebola, to bring them and be quarantined in Kenya. Ni kama kusema hakuna Ebola hapa Kenya, si tukachukua tu moja, at least pia si tuko kwa hii list ya watu wako na watu wa Ebola. Why can't we just be ready by ourselves, in a sense that in case that thing happens in Kenya, then we are prepared? But why ni kama tujisia hajapata Ebola, so sino tunaendea. It's not making sense. Even if it's about cooperation between countries, there is a facility in DRC there. They should improve the quarantine facility there. Now wafanye hivyo. Kwa nini watolewe pale DRC, walete watibiwe huku, waeke quarantine nyingine hapa? Are we not exposing our own citizens to the same Ebola thing? Are we trying to find out if our Kenyan immune is stronger to be able to curb to deal with Ebola? Guys, please stop playing with our lives. If you're not patriotic, we are patriotic. Stop playing with our lives, be patriotic, and be good leaders. Hapana, be good leaders. Your facility wacha ikae huko DRC. Don't ship the people who've been affected by Ebola to Kenya and then you quarantine them here, while that can happen at that very place where iko na hiyo kitu. Guys, this is getting out of hand and is severely becoming very serious. Look, even the New York Times. In New York Times, sio nini, New York Times in America has posted the same very thing. Meaning this thing has already been planned and is about to become the new reality. Guys, we must reject this. My question is, we have a country like DRC and Uganda that are already exposed to this thing. Why can't you take that facility for quarantine in those countries? Take them to those countries. Why must you bring it to Kenya? Why? It's not making sense. And back then, 2018, 2016, Kenya used to be a very respectable country. When you tell someone you're from Kenya, they give you respect. But now, because of the type of leaders we've had, we've lost our credibility. We've become a laughingstock, and also we've become a testing ground. It is seriously painful. Why must you put your personal interest first before the nation, before the citizens? Why, leaders? Why? This is so sad. It is very, very sad. Yeah? And I feel this is part of power struggle, because remember, we are nearing election. And with that said, tunajua vizuri, during when we have an Ebola thing, this is definitely going to ban watu kukua pamoja. Mbona vile tunafanya protest? Itabaniwa. Banning protest. Because watasema hakuna watu wezi kama mnakaa pale pamoja mali moja, mta spread Ebola. You see, this is part of a power struggle. To me, I feel it is to control the crowd also. So guys, do not forget about the finance bill. This is also a burning issue, but don't forget about the finance bill also. We have to reject what is not good and applaud what is good. We must ask for accountability. A working nation starts by prosecuting corrupt people.
Fellow Kenyans, politics aside, whether you're supporting whichever divide of the politics, but if you have not been disgusted by this government, then we have something wrong with us. Tell me why a government led by a person who brags all along, saying how much learned he is, would accept Ebola-exposed American citizens to come to Kenya. The Trump administration wants the Ebola-exposed citizens to be brought to Kenya, not to go to America, to be brought to Kenya. Something is wrong with this administration. As long as there is money exchanging hands, they are ready to do anything.
And thank you so much for watching until this end. Please do a comment, also like this video, also subscribe if you have not subscribed. This will help me big time and be able to continue doing great commentary videos. What do you think about this video, and what do you think about the Kenyan American Ebola situation, or a quarantine facility that is being elected very, very soon? What do you think? Is it going to be built, or is it not going to be built? What will happen? What do you think caused this decision? Do you think our president is the one who asked for it, as the Kenyans say, or do you think is the president from America, the American president, who saw that Kenya is capable or not? Do that comment and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Bye.